Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. This is Seth and Beth, and this is Ken and Jeff.
I don't know where I'm looking.
I know,
Jeff,
there's so many cameras.
You don't have to.
It's like, hi.
Okay,
Hi.
so guys, you don't have to open up. Beth does this all the time. She'll start doing a monologue to the camera. Well, you can just talk to us. Don't worry about that. I mean,
Okay.
so we're on the 60th floor of Mandalay Bay, overlooking the airport.
Yeah, right. You know, on the other side is the football stadium.
We haven't got to see it yet.
If we're just like a couple
But
over.
we're here with Ken, the wonderful Ken Liu and Jeff
We
Newsom.
like football.
Now, boys, you guys are hesitant to come on, but let me first say this. Beth, you know that I took this man's workshop when I was a young, stupid photographer.
Was that in Kentucky?
That was in Detroit about
Detroit.
5 years ago. It was a packed house. And
Really? How many?
Jeff has to be one of the most famous photographers in the universe. Wouldn't you agree, Beth?
Oh, dude, some of these pictures. Like even just this one that Ken showed us a second ago. Like you just look at it, and even as a photographer, you're like, how'd he do that?
Well, Jeff posts his own photos
he's
and then talks
talented.
about how handsome and talented he is.
Yeah, I like to talk about myself.
Yes, everyone knows that.
I mean, if I can just compliment myself for a little bit.
Go ahead. Just a monologue yourself.
The proper distance, Jeff.
I ran out of things to say.
Well, great. That was wonderful. Thanks for coming, you two. Ken, you know, I love you. We've been, Ken was pivotal, Beth, in our switch to providing albums to our clients.
Yes.
We were using album we were using album companies that weren't of the highest qualities to save a buck. Do you remember those days?
Yes.
Then we switched over.
I remember when you met Ken.
Where at?
I think it was at WPPI.
Of course.
I was in there. You came
There.
home, and you're like,
The
Sparks.
listen, I just that's it. It was.
Sparks. I
Yeah.
saw
The
him come down
bromance.
the
Yeah.
corridor. Sparks.
Yeah, with the the
Stars,
pigeons and
yes.
backlit lighting.
And peacocks that got turned into furniture.
Right.
The best furniture.
We started on now. Can we talk about your old album company just a smidge? Can I talk about it? Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so we started on Renaissance album years ago. They're still around.
Yeah.
Great. We have since moved off of them. When Ken moved away, so did we. But not out of spite. We just fell in love with Brady Perrier of Blacksmith albums. But really, your albums back in the day shifted our mindset that becoming a luxury brand and quality of delivery was very important, and our clients reacted to it very positively, which led us down the road of selling hundreds of albums since then. And so really saving, I don't know about our career, Beth, but really upping the happiness level of our clients and ourselves. But
And
anyway,
us, we were happier about the product that we were giving our clients
Yeah.
as well.
so I can't thank you for that. But we wanted to have you guys on because recently you guys have partnered for this new company called DVLOP. I'm kidding.
Develop.
Develop, which you guys cornered the market on the Develop shortening. What is it, DVLOP?
DVLOP.
Isn't that wonderful, Beth?
Okay,
Say
so
fast.
The best spelling.
I want to know like how you guys became
Oh.
friends and how this all happened
Well,
because you guys have this amazing chemistry together where like
Sexual chemistry.
well,
Well,
yes,
very much
that
so.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you guys have this amazing like friendship where you like can just like banter back and forth the funniest things and like you're just so easy to be around. Like how did that all start?
That's
though?
right, Beth.
I
Now, we're talking too much. So let's start with each one of you because I need to know more of your story. Jeff, obviously, I've been an enormous fan of yours, and if anyone has seen like some of the most outrageous, just creative wedding photos in the past decade, a lot of them have come from you. So I fell in love with you just from just scanning the internet and magazines and seeing all this creative work. So maybe Ken, we'll get to you. Since you're just more boring than Jeff, but Jeff,
How high up are we?
Let's be honest.
How high is this jump?
Jeff, tell us your photography career, how long you've been doing this, and like all that.
Oh, well, kind words. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you.
Oh, I love you.
Is it because you two look exactly alike? You even have like same glasses, and he did the eyebrow just like you too. You
do?
See?
Wow.
I don't. I mean, it's like a mirror right here.
To think one day I could grow up and look like Jeff Newsom, Beth.
We would both be so excited. We both benefit.
So you
with
live
it.
in California?
Yes, I do.
You have 3 kids, 2 kids,
2 kids.
2 boys.
2 boys.
We have 2 boys.
boys.
2, 9, 6.
Nice.
And how long you been photographing? 15, 20?
I shot my first wedding in 2004.
Oh wow.
Old.
Probably
I can
got
do
my
this. 4 plus 16
Good
is
Beth.
20.
It's better than me. I was a math major and I can't do it. I think I got my first camera in 2003.
Do that math, Beth.
Okay, so 3
17,
plus 17 is 20.
So why were you?
The important part about that was that I started my business
I see,
within a
I see,
year
I
of
see.
getting it.
Like everyone else, yes. So how'd you get into weddings?
Weddings. Okay, so my roommate at the time, well, not almost at the time, was a wedding videographer. So he was making films at weddings. And as his roommate, I came along as the second camera quite often.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I got myself a camera for my own personal reasons that I just loved shooting photos, when I would attend these weddings, I would start watching the photographer. And it kind of became the natural path for me if I wanted to pursue photography, to go, okay, well, I'm already kind of involved in weddings and I've seen how it works. And I think I could do this. So it was me begging my friends for about a year. Can I shoot your wedding? Can I shoot your wedding? Please let me shoot your wedding.
Sounds familiar.
I know, right?
And 100% across the board, everybody said no. It was
Or maybe our friends are cheaper because they all said yes in our
oh
environment.
no,
I'm
I
kidding.
was like begging. It was bad. They were smart though. They made the right choice. Just whatever the choice was, and whoever else they went with, that was the right choice. Because I had the desire, but maybe not the skill set at the time. Yep. I eventually just helping out some friends and, chatting around in the community. A referral was sent my way for a real low cost wedding. And they booked me and I loved shooting it. And it was the most difficult wedding, even to this day, that I've ever shot. It just was almost an impossible scenario. Looking back, like I wouldn't know what to do now. And so it really tested my problem solving skills, especially without having any experience. And I loved that feeling. And that was a very interesting thing that I found out about myself is I love knowing after all these years is I love being in the middle of chaos when everything goes wrong. And whether I'm supposed to create something or document a story, when everything goes wrong, that's when I feel like my creative juices really like come alive, because I'm trying to solve a situation. Like, what can I do in this situation, in this lighting, in this scenario? How can I document this to the best? How can I capture the story the best?
Or this comes with a lot of confidence. Did you have that initially? Leadership qualities?
I wouldn't say leadership qualities. I'm kind of a solo, quiet little private artist guy. And anything that I shoot, it's always very internal, the problem solving process. And the external, when I'm communicating, it's a completely different thing. That's a confident thing. So I will speak confidently, and then inside it's like scrambling. How the hell am I going to do this? Or what can I do? Or how can I make something so dull and boring interesting? How can I hide all of this noise in the room and focus on what's important? And then when projecting, if I'm going to try to direct or create or communicate with somebody else, it comes off as, hey, I have an idea, or let's try something. There's always this room for error when I talk. Because if I have any ideas, I know, and probably if you have an idea that you're going to try something, it might not work.
Yeah.
And it might just look horrible. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
I always like that line that you would give like brides and grooms, like, listen, this may be the dopest picture we've ever seen, or it may totally fail, but let's try it, okay?
Oh, yeah. No, I give a very similar line where it may be the dopest image ever seen or the worst possible image.
Well, I prepped them because I
Yeah.
could get home. It could be totally out of focus, misaligned, misexposed, and I kind of saved my ass a bit, instead of, hey, by the way, that photo, how'd it turn out,
Which I learned yesterday from Kenny Kim. It's out of focus. It's somebody blinked.
Ah, yes, that's right. That's right. Lots of blinks.
Ooh, I like that.
So keep going, Jeff.
So many people are blinking.
When did you really hit your stride with weddings and become like super awesome at it?
My stride, I can tell you like the exact year and the exact moment where
Wow.
I found myself within it. Because there's always ooh. There's always there's a bit of yourself in everything. Even if you're like looking at magazines and trying to like replicate things or checking out other artists and trying to copy poses, and we all have to find a source of inspiration, and especially when we're starting out, it's like how what am I supposed to do in a wedding?
Yeah.
What is a wedding photo supposed to look like?
Mine were just trying to look like yours, but anyway, keep going.
Yes. So I think probably my first few weddings is exactly that. What am I supposed to be shooting at a wedding? How can you lay the dress out on the ground?
Yeah.
And where do you put the flowers? And, and I genuinely like tried to do what I was supposed to do. And then I think it was just after a couple of years of people, the groomsmen picking up the bride, and I'm just going like every single time I cringe and I'm like, I don't like this.
Not familiar, Beth?
One time I'm just like, I'm never doing that again. And it was a personal decision for me. Like, I think this was like, so I started in 2004, 2006. I remember the wedding where I said, I'm never taking this photo ever again. And then that became this like long list over the next couple of years.
Yes.
Like, and I'm not doing this ever again. And I'm not doing this ever again, because not that my clients didn't need it or want that. I just hated it. Not the shooting the photos, but just the corniness or doing something that
Has been done before?
Didn't come from me, or I've seen a billion times. And so what I started doing was just showing the things that spoke to me. Whether it's a moment or just something interesting or me trying a new technique that maybe it was terrible, but I've never seen it before. And my clients started, hiring me for those things and not hiring me for the laying out the dress and putting the flowers, hanging a dress from a tree, and nothing wrong with any of this. But I think...
Isn't that a song? They like me for me.
Beth, before you start singing, I like to cut you off, but Jeff, I know where you're going with this. So maybe this is like full admission time. When I took your class, you had this same mindset. And at the time, I just needed clients. I didn't really have the strength or confidence.
What year was it?
Well, 6 years ago, maybe. But like, you would say things like, to be a better photographer, just make better art. And I was like, what is this guy talking about? Better art's not going to get me people to call me on the phone. I need a Google page. And then after all these years, I really couldn't agree more with you about what you're saying, because we went through those years where we were doing what everyone else, what we thought we were supposed to do, and then we weren't really happy with it. We were booking a bunch of clients who probably just booked us for our pricing as opposed to our charisma or our personal connection, and it just didn't resonate with us.
I remember you saying things like this, Seth. Like you would like cringe, like, I don't want to take this photo. Like if somebody's like, hey, I want a photo that looks like this, you'd be like, I do not want to take that.
But it led to
photo.
like an unhappier us. We would deliver, to this day, we have some past clients where we delivered the album and have still never spoken to them. Like, here's your wedding photos, enjoy. And then like, that was the last communication, not even a thank you back. And so like, cause I just thought we had to like churn through all these, we had to like do these staple photos and churn through this. And so it's funny is at the time I took your workshop, I was like, man, I can't believe that's not helpful. And now I'm like, God, I wish I could have listened more, because making us happy when it's all said and done is like, has been the most important thing for us.
Yeah. So any advice I give, and I warn everybody, especially when I was doing workshops, was it's going to just run your business into the ground. But the perspective I come from is not about, how much money I can make and how I can turn this into like this profit machine, or, grow my business from just me to this whole crew.
Yeah.
For me, it was what's going to keep me happy doing it in another 10 years. And that's always been with me. I guess maybe not always, but it was, I think, where I was headed with what I was saying about how, I stopped taking photos a certain way and I started showing photos that the way that I wanted to. Right around 2008, I think I was doing my, I was blogging every wedding the day after, and I was just on it. And, I hit my stride with that. But I just stopped caring about posting it, and I stopped caring about having, it was like jeffnewsom.com/blog or blog.jeffnewsom.com or something. And I got sick of linking that. I felt like it was very, there's nothing wrong with promoting yourself or getting your work out there. But for me, it just felt like just strange to keep throwing my own domain out there. Like, look at my photos, look at my photos. And, I stopped writing. I used to write like, oh, this was, loved hanging out with them, was the best day. This person's awesome. This person's awesome. And I started just putting little blips of like video game quotes, and because I didn't want to write. I do the same thing on Instagram now, and now I just put an emoji and move on with my life.
Picture says 1,000 words.
Like, what am I going to say?
Oh, but this is Beth's quote. She'll get some strange texts. It's just like, when I don't know what to say, I just send some meme or emoji. Just some sort of weird, what is it? A GIF. Just send a GIF
GIF.
of someone celebrating. So
Like, I don't know what to say right now. I'm
I
just
just
going to
send
send
a thumbs
GIF.
up to everything.
Or this.
Or the shrug. Ken knows best.
Ken knows best.
I gotta use that shrug more often because I'm clueless most of my day.
There's nothing better than the shrug.
It covers everything,
Yeah,
by
it
the
does.
way. What do you want for lunch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so right around 2008, it's just something stupid, and I said, this it was an engagement session, and I said, this person's awesome and this person's awesome, and together they form a Voltron of awesomeness. And
Who's Voltron again?
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
don't do
No,
it.
don't do it.
Just,
Okay.
just keep that one inside.
This isn't the place.
Not with
Not the comfort nest?
No.
So I said it, and I put it out to the world, and nobody cared, right?
Oh.
But no, it's not that. I don't care if people don't care. I don't
Sure.
care if I don't get likes and comments. But I was so proud of saying Voltron of awesomeness that I immediately
Did you trademark it?
I got the domain name. This is pre me trademarking things. But no, got that domain name, and I'm like, you know what? That's the name of my blog, Voltron of Awesomeness. And this is the stupidest name of a blog for somebody who's trying to like book weddings.
Of like young mid-20s women.
Someone who's trying to like, do destination weddings and this
In
and
Italy.
that. And yeah, who knows? Who's going to hire the Voltron of Awesomeness, And that it was the moment where I was just like, I really don't care if nobody hires me. I'm going to do what I want from here on out. And yeah, it was definitely that moment. And it turned out that I remember my next couple of years of weddings, like I would go to the weddings and people would, like, not the bride and groom, like it would be a groomsman or someone would come up and say, Voltron of Awesomeness, or I love, it was always, or they would give me some reference to some kind of dumb thing that I said. Like, there's other versions of me out there in the world, or people that can connect in the same way. This is how Ken and I connected, by the way, when we get there. It was, we're like the same.
Yeah.
And we just share the same love for all these weird, things that most people just don't even think about. Voltron being one of them.
Now, Ken, you're not even a photographer?
No, well, I got my first camera in 2001. So I'm like 2 years better than Jeff.
Yeah, I see it in your photos.
Ken took one of the greatest photo.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember that app?
I don't remember. I don't.
It was so good.
I broke the-
PHHOTO or something. It was basically like animated GIFs, but it was like an Instagram for GIFs. Ken joined, made one photo, and then retired.
Yeah, it
immediately.
was so good.
That's how
I-
good he was.
So
Yeah.
good.
I broke the app,
Broke
actually.
the app.
No, actually, you did break it. I remember
did.
it was a glitch.
'cause
Yeah.
it was a glitch, and it was so good. I just retired. I took it, and I was like, done. I've taken the perfect photo.
Mic drop.
So, Ken, tell us a little bit about. We'll get back to Jeff because I want to learn more, Jeff, about your education, what you're still up to. But Ken, tell us about your history. How did you get into the photography community?
So I didn't start off in photography. I didn't pick up a camera. Didn't do that. What it was my dad was in Renaissance albums. That was his love. He loved his family. He loved the Knicks, and he loved his job. And then he got sick, really sick. They diagnosed him with pancreatic cancer, which is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And they gave him 6 months, but he fought. He fought for a year and a half to be with his family. And what helped to keep him around was not just his family, not the Knicks, but also his job. He loved going to work. So even when he was super, super sick, he would go to work and he'd feel better. So I was like, this thing brings him so much joy. And then he passed away. And when he passed away, it took a lot out of me. So at almost the same time, I got an offer to go to Hong Kong recruited to go to Hong Kong to do some finance work out there. It was a great expat package, so I took it. I partied for 2.5 years, and then I missed home. I'm a mama's boy. Missed my mom a ton, missed seeing her. I called her every day, but I missed seeing her. So I moved back and then joined Renaissance.
What's her name? What's your mom's name?
Kathy.
Kathy.
Yeah.
When did
love
you join
Kathy.
Renaissance?
In 2004.
So was it weird, like being the owner's kid, kind of stepping into a production that was already running? And
Oh no, sorry, 2002. Sorry, 2002. Yeah. No, you know what? It wasn't, because I as soon as I got in, I started from the bottom, and I just tried to learn everything from the bottom, and it was just so interesting. I've always liked art, and I've always liked photography. You know, I've never done it professionally, but you know, it spoke to me. You know, seeing all these beautiful images every day, thousands and thousands and thousands of beautiful images, and getting to know the people behind the images, that really made me happy. Like seeing Jeff at a trade show, or seeing all of our friends at a trade show, or that brought a lot of joy. And then also knowing that this made my dad so happy, like living out his legacy.
I bet your mom was so proud too when you took it over.
Yeah, it was great because she worked there too, so I got to see her every day, which was, I love seeing her every day.
What would she do at the album company?
Purchasing. So she buy all the raw materials, make sure you know, the glues, the whatever, anything that goes into album making. She was in charge of making sure everything was.
Did you ever talk to her on the phone?
I don't recall. Wait.
No, she doesn't talk on the phone.
Not that purchasing, Beth. Purchasing the supplies for the
Oh,
album.
supplies. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long were you with Renaissance? Because you inevitably became the face of, like, it was just your Instagram, or was like Renaissance. I mean, like, that was just, you were the whole company in people's minds.
Right. You just say, just talk to Ken from Renaissance.
Yes.
Just talk to Ken.
So in 2017, Jeff approached me with this idea, and it just felt awesome, like the Voltron of awesome.
Voltron of
You see how I did that, Jeff?
awesomeness.
Comes
Did
around
you
there,
see
Jeff.
Good. So, no, it felt just great, and it was the right moment to let Renaissance go, and then join up and do this awesome thing with Jeff.
Fun fact
Go on.
about the Voltron reference and the DVLOP logo, and we have the V.
Of course.
The V is our logo, and real fun fact, the V is made of 5 parts, the 5 lines of Voltron.
This is Thundercats, Beth. Right?
Siri.
Not Thundercats. It is Voltron.
Who's Voltron?
Well, that is Voltron.
No,
Yeah.
no, Voltron and the 5 lines.
Yeah, the lines that make a robot.
The Thundercats are like
Different things.
Mixed-
Sorry.
mixed-
They're pretty
mixed
awesome
kitties.
too. They're pretty awesome because I was
They are cats, though.
I was Lionel for Halloween, Jeff, and Jeff thought it was the most amazing thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Ken-
Beth,
Ken-
Voltron is like an 80s cartoon.
I think it would come on before My Little Ponies. So
Well, you're right in that wheelhouse.
I didn't.
Do you remember giant robotic lions at any point in your life seeing a cartoon?
There were 5 colors. They're
They
like
were-
the Power Rangers, like red, green.
No,
Oh, no, they were not the Power Rangers. Stop,
The Power
stop.
They're
Rangers are
like
Voltron.
5
You got that
colors.
backwards.
So, can we leave now, Jeff?
They're like
Is it the door? The door's right there.
Yeah, I think I'm out of water.
the window's still there.
I'm dehydrated.
All right, let's not get our 80s. I'm getting my 80s. Beth, I scolded you for not knowing your 80s cartoons, but sure enough, I'm the imbecile now. I got egg on my face. So listen to me carefully, guys. So tell us about Jeff, how did you think about this? Because the world of presets is great. Every photographer and their brother has a preset that they usually sell for fairly inexpensive pricing, and inevitably they don't ever work on my photos. So how did you guys come up with this concept and make them work so well for photographers?
The original concept wasn't about creating what we have now, which is, there's a lot of tech that went into it, a lot of work that went into it, and it's more than just presets at this point. But the original idea was I never wanted to sell my own presets, and it was, any artist who gets any kind of small following will probably just occasionally hear, hey, when you're going to have this kind of education, or when are you going to have, are you going to do a podcast? Are you going to do a Patreon? Or all these things that we hear.
Right.
Presets were like the thing. Years ago, it was like, when are you going to have presets? And it was like, never. Because me releasing presets on my own is like, hey, here's my editing style that, I created for myself so that I don't look like anybody else. Now here, everybody else, go use it.
Yeah.
Because you remember when Visco launched, and those are my friends, and they launched a great product, and then everybody overnight were like, Visco. Everybody started using it. And all this character that I recognize in the industry, like, just dwindled in terms of, like, differentiating artists. Obviously, the photos are going to look different, but when the editing style looks the same, it kind of became a bummer. So that's not a knock on the product or the products that people use. It's just kind of a bummer to see everybody following the same path. So my original concept was I was driving to a wedding, and I thought, well, what if I, instead of releasing, my presets, what if I release everyone's presets?
Everyone else's?
Just as this whole group, like styles, every kind of style people could want. And we go to like the source of people that just do really cool, creative, unique edits. And then just instead of saying, hey, here's your option, here's this editing style, everybody go for it. And, whether it sells dozens or billions, you don't want there to be total continuity in editing style across the board with everybody. So releasing everyone's presets, right? All these different styles, people from different parts of the industry and different parts of the world that just do things so differently but so well, then people have an option. So that was the original concept, and it grew from there to me reaching out to my friends, hey, does this sound like something you'd want to be a part of? And then Ken joined on, and then we were like, okay, well, if we're going to do this whole thing, let's do it right. Let's start with the profiles. So we started researching into camera profiles, and then I spent a good 4 months of my life just in a room staring at monitors and color charts and gathering cameras and, doing all this just intensive work to just get it right for when the time, like, hey, these people are trusting us to release a product with their name. Let's do it right from the ground up. So we did the profiles, do the presets, and then we made them modular, which was an idea that came later in development. Meaning instead of just having, hey, here's all of these different styles, a dozen different styles, you can actually mix them together. And that became a whole new thing. Okay, when the developed product releases, we don't want to go, oh, I know that was a developed edit. Yeah. I can tell you exactly what edit that is. And our whole entire Instagram page now, or anytime I see the feed or in our Facebook group, when I see people posting, I can recognize elements of it. Yeah. But everybody's doing their own thing.
That's exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
It's
mixing.
It's the dream. So creating. It's the advantage of having presets for people that need, editing inspiration or editing like help with speed and just workflow or whatever, or just to play. Like for me, I've always done my own edits my own way, but now even I have all these tools just sitting there all the time. I tinker all the time, just mixing things together. And it became this creative thing rather than, presets have always just made things one note. It takes the creativity out of editing. Yeah. So now this platform, and the thing that, I'm most proud of is people are using it to like increase creativity and not just productivity. So that's been the concept, and having everybody involved has just made it like much better, cooler, more fun than just me going, hey, I built some presets in a room.
Yeah, they are.
And
Ken, I was going to say, Ken, how did you get some of these incredibly famous photographers to partner with you guys and want to buy into this?
So they're buddies. They're good friends through years of hanging out, just talking, getting to know each other. And another thing that connects a lot of us is that we're all family people. And I think that's been a huge element for back with Renaissance, back with when we first met. We talked about video games a lot. We talked about toys. We talked about Bizarre Love Triangle, whatever. All that stuff we talked about a lot, but it also revolved around our families. How much he loves his wife and his kids, same thing. It's all about families. And when we started this, we picked people that we knew and that also had the same respect for families. And we knew that when we're bringing them on board, we're also taking care of their families as well, in a way. So it was nice to have that bond and that connection, that core.
Who were some of badass photographers you have on? I know the list is pretty great now. 25 or 30 of them.
Yeah, about 25 right now. Between the ones on the actual website and also we have a bunch of powered by photographers as well.
What does that mean?
So that means they are on the DVLOP system, but not on the DVLOP.com website. So they're separate. They're on their own, but they're powered by they use our system to sell and and when we also host all the presets as well.
They also get the access to all of the dual illuminant profiles.
Cool.
And I don't think it's actually that many people. I don't think 25's
Too high?
I think it's really, really high.
Who are some of them? I don't know them all.
No, we're more like, even with the powered by partners, we're less than 20. I think it's maybe like,
20.
maybe like 17 total. Powered by would be a fistful of bolts.
Oh, I don't. Who is that again?
That's Sean and Melanie Flanagan.
I don't think I met
They have
them.
some cool
Are they on the
photos.
East Coast?
They are up in
Oh,
Tacoma, Washington.
Okay, West Coast. Yeah, that's how confused I am. But their stuff's insane.
Yeah,
What a great
super
name.
insane, and editing style is just so cool.
Yeah, and
It's so
their
cool.
branding, right? They'll just take like a gorgeous photo and like put their logo like right in the middle, like so badass. Anyway, keep going.
So we have them on board. India Earl with her Honey preset, which is just awesome. I got to work with India.
That's a cute name, Honey Preset.
Yeah, and it's totally her style, but it's one of the most well balanced, like across the board useful presets. And hers is built in a different way, where it's not like, hey, here's a bunch of presets. It's one preset with maybe a dozen modifiers that just take that preset and take it in different directions. And then there's also the visual flow system by SLR Lounge, and their whole entire preset system that they designed, which works differently than what we have and what differently than most anything else I've seen, which is really cool. It's situational presets. They did that, and then they built it with us on our profiles. So we work together. We have a partnership, but it's not like a develop, like mix and match type, like hosted on the develop like front page type thing. So it's their product. They push it. We worked on them with the tech and the development. And then we host it in a way. So that's what Powered by is. So then our installers and our system with, how our customers work and our account protection and all that stuff is built into all of their tools.
So go ahead, Bethy.
So you like had the idea and then you're like, Ken, you're really great at business. We should do this together.
What does Ken bring to the table besides his handsome, good looks
Well, that's it.
and charm?
That's pretty
That's
much
it.
it.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this out for Ken because you won't say it. Ken brings everything to the table because my skill set is like very minimal.
Artistic, you would say more?
I make things and I can talk with my friends, and that's my skill set. Ken
knows best.
makes it all go.
So I brought this up before. Is I was not full go develop, even though you guys were into it, because I was very anti preset because I'd bought so many in the past. I want to look like that famous photographer. You buy their preset, you press the button, it doesn't work on the photo. It like obviously photos can be drastically different, whether it's a basement of a church or outside sunset. But for some reason, your guys' Lightroom presets are just flawless. I just apply all to all my photos. That's the first step.
Is it because you can modify it like they're talking
I just learned about
it?
that last week.
Oh.
I didn't know that existed. But it's dope as hell. I don't even know how, I don't want to get too nerdy.
I want to talk more about Ken though. Okay, so
Go ahead,
you
Beth.
go and you're like, Ken, I have this idea. And Ken at that time was still in Renaissance.
I was transitioning out. It was a good transition period for me. We had an offer to basically sell our shares of Renaissance, and it was just like it was meant to happen. Just about at that time, Jeff was talking about that idea. I was like, you know what, this would be a great partnership. And
So Ken, you just told me last week that I was assuming this was like, we're having Daniel and Davina on from Image Salon. Of course, they have like 140 people working for them now. I figured this was some like massive undertaking. But Beth, did you know Develop is just these two guys?
Really?
Isn't that right?
we have two, but we have the support of of a lot of friends, and that helps out a lot. I mean, we would never have the success that we have right now, or the reach without good friends.
Do you guys live by each other?
No.
So is that hard, right? A lot of FaceTime phone calls.
It's a lot of this emoji.
Yeah. No, we figured it out. It's not always super easy because I'm in New York, he's in California.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, but we make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Once we get close to the releases or the launch dates, like this machine starts turning, and we each take to our roles very like seriously. And it doesn't have to be like sitting next to each other because we're doing very different things. But there's this trust knowing that what either of us are doing will get done and on time.
That's huge.
and
And
awesome.
be done.
Yeah, and done really well.
Like I don't even have to second guess anything that he does. And then, he puts his trust in me that I'm going to create something that works. And across the board, like I have all these crazy ideas, like, hey, here's what I think can be possible.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts the trust like, oh, then yeah, you can do it. And same thing with him, with anything with the business. You knew from my workshop, like I just don't run a business.
Well, Beth, remember I came home from the workshop and I was like, so I'm like trying to get like more clients. Like I need to expand my Facebook, my Google, and Jeff's like, I don't want to be found. Like I want clients to really have to work to find me. And I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Then of course nowadays, Beth, like we do a little bit of that, but like we actually prefer when clients have to like work a little hard to find us a bit, right? They really want us, and that's our match made in heaven there. But
Well, after our Google dropped, honey, I feel like they are working hard to find us a little bit. Yeah, that's happening.
yeah, thank you, Beth, for bringing
Yeah.
that up. So what's guys? What's the most popular preset? We use the 2-man presets because I'm in love with those two. That has to be most popular, right?
That is definitely one of the most popular. If you look across, there's this group called Fearless. Everyone knows Fearless. But if you look across the awards, every collection, you'll see a good percentage use 2-man's mystical potions.
It's a very good percentage.
Yeah.
Significant.
Yeah, significant. Something like 30,
I was at
30, 40%.
I was at Lanny and Erica's workshop when they were starting the talks with you, and I think it's oddly enough is Lanny was he was struggling to get the preset down, but also relieved that it could help himself moving forward, because he's a guy that would edit 40 hours a week on like
it's impressive
40 or 50 photos, and so.
You mean like he was trying to master his own preset?
Yeah, absolutely. So he could use it himself and maybe get down his editing time.
How did he like talk
Well,
with them?
Well, that might be too nerdier of a conversation, but I mean, he was doing all hand Photoshop and still does hand Photoshop.
Oh, that's
edits.
what you mean when he was talking with them.
And so he was fine. They wanted to get a preset that they could apply to all. And obviously their presets have gone like wildfire. I know a lot of people that use them. But I think, that style of photography is still very colorful. So I see a lot of people using them, but I don't feel like we look like each other. It's just very dynamic, high contrast, low blacks. I love it. So yeah, who are some other of the popular presets that are selling well?
It's been over a span of 2.5 years now.
Has it been that
since
long?
Released. So depending on when we release them, you'll have like this boost in popularity. And then there's the groups like 2-man, and theirs just keep on ticking because everybody's using them, mainly because they're just so unique and extreme, I think. People just love that. But, we have Jose Villa. His presets are just like, I'm in love with them, and I was never a film shooter. And as soon as I started, we developed these things and we worked so hard at them, I exclusively use his black and white pack for my black and whites. I don't even use my own black and white preset because I fell in love with his. And those are very, very popular, and they work. And our users are super happy with those. But any of our photographers, everybody's done well, and the presets have all sold. There's a lot of users out there. With the ones that stick around, though, I think the ones that get repeated on a daily basis in social media with how people are using them. 2-man definitely. Jose, Fair pops up all the time. Gabe McClintock's Rome is a really cool preset.
He's a New Zealand photographer. Right?
I know. Yeah, his stuff's awesome.
Gabe McClintock is also from Canada.
Doesn't he go to? Am I confused? Doesn't he go to New Zealand all the time?
He travels around.
No. Who am I thinking?
He lives in Calgary.
Who am I thinking of? Of course, Gabe's from Canada because Canada has so many photographers. Shit. I just lost my mind again.
New Zealand, maybe Jim Pollard.
Oh, that's it. Pollard goes click.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah. So wait. Tell me this. Can someone buy? I wanted to ask. Can someone buy all the presets
There's not like a
package?
but there are some users that do have them all.
Yeah.
We do have users that have purchased every single package, which is phenomenal.
That would be the Voltron of awesomeness.
Oh, Beth,
It's a
look at you.
lot. It's a lot because I have them all, obviously, but it's overwhelming to look at. So I just turn like 99% of them off and keep my pack up. Jose black and white pack, But there's a lot of people. But the original like sell when we launched as a company was like, hey, here's a bunch of presets. You can buy them together. Bundle. We had like bundled pricing and all this stuff at launch, and the whole idea was buy the styles that you like and mix them together. So people did buy multiple packs.
Yeah, and they still do. They do. They like to mix. They like to play, and I think that's what makes it fun.
But there's no direct option to buy them all, and against all business advice, I wouldn't recommend buying them all. That's a lot.
I'm still trying to think of a good name for all of them, like Mega Voltron, the V Pack.
Oh, Beth.
Just some ideas, just throwing it out.
If you guys need marketing help, she'll be around for the podcast for that.
We're launching the V Pack.
Yeah, we'll have another podcast about that.
The Mega V Pack.
So how big can this business go? How many photographers you guys? What's the goal? Sky's the limit.
Well, I think we've got a lot of great wedding photographers, and we're very, very picky on who we bring on for that category. If we bring on any more, we probably will. But now we're looking at other categories, looking to grow in other places. And
yeah, we launched Develop Outdoors with Chris Burkhardt. He's the only one in that category. So I mean, we have a whole category to grow with just awesome outdoor traveling photographers.
I'll have to look him up. What's his name?
Chris Burkhardt. Just Instagram him. You'll find him real quick.
yeah.
Cool.
And
how do like international sales go with like some of these international photographers?
Oh, great. You're talking about how do they do?
Yeah, like outside America. I mean, there's a huge, obviously enormous market.
And it's surprising to look at the numbers. You would think that we'd be U.S. heavy or North America heavy, but we do great everywhere. You see a huge percentage of sales in certain European countries. We see sales in Asia, all over. So I mean,
I'm certain there's got to be some bomb ass Chinese photographer that has a zillion followers.
Yeah.
Do you have to go to like conferences in other countries and stuff like that, and like business development in other countries?
Maybe
we haven't done much yet.
Yeah. I mean, we want to. It's hard to travel with our family. We
Isn't that the
love
truth?
being home.
Same thing.
Yeah.
We love being home.
Like even being here right now
Yeah.
is tough.
Yeah, we love being home.
Yeah, like so how many? Like there's like 6 kids dying for their parents to come home just from us sitting here. Like,
Two.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I think
Good
about
math.
that too.
Thanks. I'm really good at
She's
math.
impressive.
She's a math
Two.
teacher. I told you
See
she's
that?
available for develop staff. She is available. She's got the math.
We are
skills,
growing.
Accounting, marketing.
Skills.
She's here and she could host a podcast. Well, all right, guys. Well, I didn't want to do this too much about
Wait.
what, Bethy?
Do you have any questions for us?
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Good
Put us on
deep.
the spot. Hold on 1 second.
Oh wait, wait. I got one because Beth, I've been starting to ask this like every podcast. I kind of like it. Like Jeff, what is your X-Men superpower that you think has really propelled your life?
My real X-Men superpower.
No, not your real one, not a fake one. Like, what do you think you're really? Or maybe Ken answer that for him. Why is the world in love with this guy so much?
He's a creative genius. I don't think there's anyone else like him who thinks like him. Or yeah. I mean, just the way he sees things. You may see it this way, that way, but he sees it like that way.
Yeah.
And what about?
or he just pokes himself. No one else can do that.
No one else.
Well, what
can do
about
that.
Jeff? What about Ken? What's his superpower? Because I think I know. I mean,
Anybody who's been around Ken knows that he has some big superpowers. One, his energy.
yeah.
Like nobody can keep up. But to me, the most important thing is we're on the same page with like families. His superpower is that he's mentally always with his family at home. And he'll do this, Vegas. He'll go out, party all night, have a good time with all of his friends and everybody, and meet people and talk and socialize, and meetings. And his schedule, like my schedule's like, I'll do one thing a day type thing. And Ken's like, oh, we got this in 15 minutes. We got to go. And he'll go all night, and he'll go to bed at like 4. And then he'll wake up at 6 and then just click, just working. It's incredible the amount of energy this guy has. And then he just loves everybody. So everybody who's ever experienced WPPI with Ken Liu, they love him. Like before we started this thing, like I was so happy to see Ken at all of these events. And no, that's one of the many superpowers that Ken Liu has.
When I first walked up to the Renaissance table years ago to get interested, I couldn't figure out why he was taking interest in me, Beth, like the owner of the company. I didn't even actually know you probably were the owner until someone else told me. But then we saw each other like every, the Mystic events and every event. And so
I know that was one reason why you wanted to go with the Renaissance. You're like, I just like him. I just like him.
Yeah, that's what everyone else said too. Yeah.
Like, I just kind of just want to use
And then when Ken left, I heard a lot of people like, yeah, well, I gotta go to a different company now. I gotta stick. I thought the Renaissance leaving was like, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know if it was a harsh breakup or a mutual breakup, but you're saying you're great. And
yeah, that was fantastic.
That's glad to know because I never knew and I wasn't really asking too much. But so I don't mean to end on like some sort of sour note there, Beth, but like, what the fuck. But anyway, guys, thanks for coming on.
Wait, I got something.
Oh, right there, Beth, right there.
I got it.
We have a small gift. Beth bought gifts for our podcast.
Oh, wow.
Folks.
Thank you.
Jeff.
You spelled his name wrong.
And it's Ken, right?
It's Geoff.
Geoff.
Wait, I want to tell him about.
Tell him, Bethy.
Okay, so there's this cute little chocolate shop in town, like a mom and dad chocolate shop.
Mom and pop.
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad shop.
This mom and dad place. And they make amazing chocolates. And I brought them for you.
Beth bought those in Ohio, so then we had to put them in a suitcase and pay United $70. So these are very fine art.
Very good about that too, though.
Very fine art, luxurious chocolates.
You should have just put them in your pockets.
The high carry on. just have like them head on me like grenades. Yes.
But if you totally want to regift those to your kids when you get home,
or
like,
me,
look
you can give them back
I
to me.
We're going to eat them right now.
Okay, so follow Jeff Newsom on all. No, don't follow him. You just have to work hard to find him.
I don't even know if I post anymore.
Don't follow Jeff, but no, he's awesome. I'm kidding. Ken also doesn't have any social, so neither of them exist online.
Hello.
Oh wait, we're all starting a TikTok together, aren't we?
Well, no. So whatever TikTok.
That's the
future.
It's the future.
TikTok of awesomeness.
When I get home, these are my goals. I'm gonna make a TikTok video. It might be really bad, but I gotta try it, right?
You gotta try it. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably not gonna start a TikTok.
Yeah. You're not going to.
I don't know if I'm gonna help either, Beth. But
I'll
follow the DVLOP presets at Hello DVLOP.
At Hello DVLOP. Also, we have an awesome Facebook community that you should jump on board if you haven't already. It's facebook.com groups developed. It's just develop. You look for develop.
DVLOP.
Yeah, DVLOP. We've got a lot of.
What do people like doing on the Facebook group?
Oh, Beth, they post a photo. Then it's that before and after stuff you love. I just grabbed a boob there, but it's just before and after stuff. So it's like, well, I mixed 2-man potion with a little bit of this, and they do all this stuff, and then people, wow, I didn't know I could do that, and yeah, it's all about it. How many folks are in that community?
A little over 10,000 right now.
Wow,
yeah,
nice.
and then we do weekly challenges. We have a lot of fun coming up.
What's like a challenge?
I think we just posted a red challenge. We do hashtag challenges every week, which is like sort of like hashtag laughter. So you show laughter images.
Image challenges that people are sharing, and it could be like photos from their past that they love. And then we also do editing challenges where we'll post somebody's like really awesome raw file, and then people just download it and edit it their own way using whatever mix they want.
Which is amazing to see.
I do know
variety.
if you win the challenges, Jeff will personally call and make monkey sounds over the phone.
Really? Let me hear a good one.
That's the
or his Chewbacca Wookiee.
Fun fact about Jeff is Jeff doesn't use the telephone.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I can't even. If I was trapped in a tower and there was a phone,
Go on.
and I needed to get a pizza to survive,
You don't
this
eat
is a
pizza.
terrible scenario. I would rather die than call somebody on the phone.
You don't like talking on the phone?
I don't do phones.
Wow, I love it. I'm
How
that
do
guy.
you
that-
communicate with Ken?
Ken, I answer the phone for
Just
Ken, but
emojis, Beth.
Ken texts me, and I do this all the time.
Emojis.
I'll do this. Yes.
Yes.
Good. Got
Good,
it.
go,
got it.
go.
Got it. And then I don't know.
So I've been doing this new thing when I drive a lot. I'll just call some random person I probably haven't talked to in like 10 years. And it's really been
Yeah,
affecting
you talk
my
on
life.
the phone a lot.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. I do this thing where I drive a lot and I don't call anybody that I haven't talked to in
What do
years.
you do in the car? You listen to a podcast, the Seth and Beth podcast? What do you
I'll do Seth and Beth podcast.
Yeah,
is-
I knew it.
I can't make it to my destination if I don't have it on.
Right. I was gonna say there's a conflict of interest. There'll never be a Seth and Beth preset because I'm still trying to be like Lanny Man
Right.
in my life. So
We should try out that black and white one, the Jose one.
maybe.
Oh,
I'm excited.
We can hook you up with that.
Oh, how nice.
I know a guy.
I know
Two
this
guys. I know a guy. All right, you two. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for the chocolates.
Yes, thank
Absolutely.
you. Very thoughtful.
Hopefully our listeners will buy all these presets and you guys will be zillionaires and you can kick back some money for the shipping on this chocolates.
That sounds great.
Yep, they're hand delivered from Ohio. So
I don't know if I could afford that.
thanks, guys. Thanks. Subscribe below. Right, Beth?
Yeah. What they say, subscribe and
So click them,
like it.
Like it, subscribe it.
like, subscribe, so we can have more than 17 viewers per podcast. That'd be great.
17 is a strong number.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
great. Yeah. We have to get
Two plus
17
two.
before we get 18. So Beth's our accountant. So all right, everybody. Thanks for
Right.
joining us, Jeff, Ken.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.